Hi there, my today's video is for those who are preparing for the NO test, and our today's topic is participle clauses. This is part 1. So let's consider what a participle clause is basing on the example, on the text, which is an example here. Do stars use their real names when traveling? In short, no. In fact, stars registered at hotels under their real name are a rarity. Their day can be ruined by paparazzi trying to take their pictures and members of the public seeking autographs. So as you have already guessed, the red parts are participle clauses. Let's look at the first one. Registered at hotels under their real name. This participle clause starts with the past participle, registered. Why? Because the action is passive. If we replace this participle clause with a relative clause or develop it into a relative clause, we will get the following. Stars who are registered or that are registered. Someone else registers them, so the action is passive. Our next participle clause. Paparazzi trying to take their pictures. The participle clause starts with the present participle, trying. It's a present participle in form. Why? Because the action is active. If we develop this clause into a relative one, we will get the following. Paparazzi who try, or that try. Okay? The action is active. Members of the public seeking autographs. Seeking autographs is a participle clause. It starts with the ing form, which is a present participle. Because the action is active, let's replace this clause with a relative clause. Members of the public who seek autographs, or that seek autographs. The action is active. So if you are going to change your name, why not have fun doing it? Names involving wordplay are common. Britney Spears uses Miss Alota Warmheart among other names, and Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, married in 2000 and divorced 5 years later, used to call themselves Mr. and Mrs. Las Vegas. Again, our parts highlighted in red are participle clauses. The first one, involving wordplay, starts with the present participle involving, because the action is active. Again, we can replace this participle clause with a relative clause, and we will get names which involve wordplay, or names that involve wordplay. As you can see, the action is active. The next one. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, married in 2000 and divorced 5 years later. We can replace this participle clause with a relative one. Brad and Jennifer, who got married, or were married in 2000 and got divorced 5 years later, the past. Okay? So it's the past participle. And the fun doesn't end there. George Clooney traveled using the name Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is the participle clause. It starts with the present participle. Why? Can we replace this one with a relative clause? No, because we have one subject, George Clooney, and two actions happening at the same time. George Clooney traveled and used the name Arnold. So when we deal with two actions happening at the same time and one subject for these two verbs, we can use participle clause which starts with the present participle using. Okay? It was funny, the hotel staff had to call me Mr. Schwarzenegger, knowing, of course, I wasn't him, said Clooney. Same situation here. We have a participle clause, knowing, of course, I wasn't him. and we have the present participle. We cannot replace this participle clause with the relative one because we are dealing here with two verbs, two actions happening at the same time, and they both refer to one subject. One subject, where is the subject? The hotel staff, that's the subject. They had to call me Mr. Schwarzenegger, and they knew, of course, I wasn't him. Okay? So we have two verbs and one subject. In such cases, we can use participle clauses with present participles. So let's summarize what we have been talking about. Rules. Number one, a participle clause begins with either a present participle, which is ing form, or a past participle. Number two, some types of participle clause can replace a relative clause. Okay? And we did it. We replaced three participle clauses with relative clauses. A participle clause beginning with the present participle is active and in meaning, and the clause beginning with the past participle is passive. Okay, so I took this text from this book, which I strongly recommend for those who want to upgrade their B1 level of English language to B2 level, especially in terms of vocabulary. This course book, like most other course books, contains grammar section, listening section, reading section, and all such stuff. But if you consider this book for ZNO preparation, you should be aware of the fact that this book does not contain many exercises in ZNO format. So I advise to use this book for your vocabulary as well as for your grammar level if you have at least 1 year before your test. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.